Does anybody else think this is the worst halftime show for the Super Bowl ever? Ever, ever, ever? Fine. If you don't agree, that's fine. But most people don't even know these songs. I don't even know what he's saying at the time. And then you got Samuel L. Jackson every 2 minutes chiming in. What a joke. This is not what it's supposed to be about.
That's your ass down.
I didn't understand one word of the halftime show. Did you? I need a translator. This is not music. This is some loser mumbling. There is nothing artistic or redeeming about this.
Nobody's even singing along. This show has been smashed.
I hate to say this so bluntly, but I feel like it's the only way they'll understand it. You cannot criticize something that was never meant for you in the first place, buddy.
You can't. Everybody on this app complaining about the halftime show, bitch. It wasn't for you. That's the whole motherfucking point. It was for us, because they not like us. When he says they not like us, bitch, he's talking about you white bitches in the back that always got something to say about our culture. It's not for you. He said it multiple times. I don't give a how many white people stream the song. I don't give a how many white people like him. That performance was not for you.
Kendrick got MAGA claiming the performance was for them. No, just look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, I bet you didn't even catch the Super Bowl halftime. I guess I grew up in it, so I understood it. But most of you guys don't even understand the Super Bowl halftime because you didn't experience that life.
It's okay to admit that y'all got used by the NFL for a protest, baby. It's okay. Y'all thought that y'all wasn't going to see the realness, but you saw it, and now you're trying to claim that it was really for you.
No! Too loud, too reckless, too ghetto.
Do you know how ignorant it looks to speak on black culture when you're not black? You don't understand it. You don't understand the artistic visions behind it. You can't make out what he's saying because it's not meant for you. So shut up.
At the Super Bowl was whack. That was one of the worst halftime shows in recent memory. First of all, Kendrick Lamar is not mainstream. Like, people do not know those songs. The white people at the Super Bowl party that I was with, he may as well have been speaking Mandarin. Nobody knew these songs. Nobody knew what he was rapping about outside of Not Like Us, obviously. But nobody knows these songs. Second of all, Blinkety Black, I'm so much blacker than you. Halftime shows are very passe. Like, that stuff peaked in the BLM era. It's very not of this moment. It very much does not work. And also, it's been done better. So at this point, nobody cares. It's just all really, really passe. There is nothing about that halftime performance.
First of all, no one gives a fuck what a room full of motherfuckers who think salt and pepper is spicy thinks. Her white friends are not mainstream media. No one gives a fuck about their opinions, quite honestly. Didn't you get jumped by a bunch of white supremacists that support Donald Trump at a debate that you intended for Donald Trump?
Kendrick and Samuel L. Jackson weren't performing. They were speaking directly to us. Those who watched expecting to be entertained were disappointed. I can assure you that if you didn't understand his performance, that he wasn't speaking to you, and that's okay. Those who are truly dialed into the culture and those that understand Kendrick Lamar, the poet, heard him loud and clear.
Y'all have no problem with the league being bliggity black, 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 black. A bunch of fucking black men getting CTE. Y'all have no fucking issue with that. With the league being predominantly black. A bunch of black men doing a sport for their entertainment. They have no problem with that bliggity black.
Hundreds of dancers and participants in this halftime show, and they can't manage to feature one single white person. This is pathetic. Hold on, sir. Not asking for DEI in the Super Bowl. Not asking for diversity in the Super Bowl. Y'all don't want that in politics. Y'all don't want that in the workplace. Y'all don't want that as a hiring standard and a practice to make sure that everybody's represented in a space. But God forbid it happen in the Super Bowl. Now it's pathetic.
Also seeing a lot of complaints that there were no white singers on stage with the choir. It was an all-black choir, and that there were no white dancers dancing with Kendrick. And I just want to know, like, why do white people think that they would be offered those roles based off of skin tone alone, based off of skin color? We don't give out free handouts in this country, okay? You gotta work for white people. Y'all might just have to work twice as hard to be half as good as some of those black dancers. Like, I'm sorry, they just outdanced y'all. Like, if you wanted to be on the stage with Kendrick, like, you're not gonna get in just because you're white.
Shania Twain, Aerosmith,
NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Paul McCartney, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, J-Lo. So many other non-black people have performed during the Super Bowl halftime show. Not once have I ever seen a post on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, anywhere where black people were mad because white people were being represented at the Super Bowl.
That Super Bowl halftime show is exposing exactly who is the they and who is the us, and they not like us. And boy, the days are showing their ass on this internet today.
Somebody said that Kendrick Lamar was the only person in history to pull off non-violent revenge so well that it was almost violent.
Kendrick's performance was for the culture. We don't have to hear about money, cars, and clothes all day. There's a time when you need to use your platform for a bigger issue, which Kendrick did a great job at doing.
Unlike Snoop Dogg and Nelly, Kendrick Lamar did not sacrifice his artistry for commercial success. He did not sell out his people for white supremacy, and we love him for it.
Nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump. Which one of you jigaboo ass niggas gonna be the first one to do? I'm going to roll the fuck out of one of you.
Kendrick Lamar didn't just put on a show. He made a statement, a whole protest, a cultural movement, a history lesson all in one.
Kendrick Lamar halftime show was a big display on how America views black people. Having Samuel L. Jackson play Uncle Sam, which is pretty much the same character he played in Django, Steven, as the narrator of the entire Super Bowl halftime show. Kendrick comes out performing the intro track to GNA, and Uncle Sam hops on screen saying, "No, too loud, too reckless, too ghetto." And the very next track that Kendrick performs is Humble. Sit down, be humble. But then he switches to DNA. I got loyalty, I got royalty inside my DNA. I'm tired of being humble. I know who I am. I know who my people are. Then he transitions to Euphoria. And I was like, Euphoria, the diss track, what's the relevance to this? But it's the part of Euphoria that he performed. Have you ever played? Have you ever? Okay, nigga, let's play. Have you ever walked your enemy down like with a poker face?
Do you know that Fox News cut out that end of the halftime show? Do you know what they did? There's a bunch of black hoodies on the stage by the car. One was on top of the car and pulled out a Palestine Sudan flag that said Palestine and Sudan on it. Listen, do you know they tackled him up off that car?
Yes, but did you see the black people in the back? Not the ones in the red, white, and blue. The ones in the black in the back.
Zulkarnain Nantambu, the performer who raised a Sudanese-Palestinian flag during Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show, has no regrets about his protest, which he says was a message of solidarity with the victims of conflicts in Sudan and Gaza. Nantambu, who had been hired as a participant in the show and was involved in the Super Bowl preparations for 2 weeks, unfurled the flag on a car prop during Lamar's set, ran around the field, and was quickly removed by security, exposing a significant security lapse at the event.
Production, your costuming, the lighting, choreography, tenderness. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. It was so black ass. It was black ass.
And like I said, if you didn't get it, goddamn it, it wasn't for you. How many times y'all have done, when I say y'all, I mean them, have done some shit on the halftime show that we didn't know who the fuck they was. I love it. The halftime show has been going on for what, 50-something years? You missed over a lot of R&B groups that are never going to be on there. Never going to be in there. Gap Band, Charlie Wilson, Ohio Players. So if you didn't get it, so fucking what?
I think that we have to get back to the proverbial cookout, whether that's gardening clubs, running clubs, going back to church, getting connected with your sororities and fraternities. We have to have places where we are convening and building community so that we can have the conversations that need to be had outside of social media. So as we're resting and safeguarding our energy, let's not forget about community and how important that is.
Mr. Lamar went out there and did everything he could to kick off the you-know-what, the evolution ray, the existence ray. That's what he went out there and did, okay? I've been over here saying we need someone with massive eyes to kick this shit off so people wake up and realize that the time is now, okay? Because Team Red is already starting to talk about they found national threats, and they are the threat. So when they say they found a threat, that means some shit is about to kick off that they started, and they're about to come after the people. And I keep telling y'all, we got a shrinking window where we can dethrone these people, and it will be by removing them. These people are going to abuse everything, blow through everything, and no elected official is going to do shit. No agency is going to do shit. No one is going to do shit but us. All right? Kendrick Lamar came out there and said it's time. We have been saying it's time. We are the ones who see it. Y'all need to start listening.
What's up, everybody? This is the Jedi. So Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar. As you all know, I am not a sports fan at all. I also don't have cable or television, and so I would not have seen the Super Bowl. But in fact, even on Super Bowl Sunday, I wasn't even aware that it was Super Bowl Sunday until I think later that day or the next day or something. It was like, I didn't know. I didn't care. I don't know if I even really knew he was supposed to be the halftime performance. I just don't know. But now I do. And I waited to bring this piece because I sensed that there was going to be a lot of reaction. And I wanted to gather all the parameters before I presented my piece. Most importantly, to see if I needed to even do a piece. And as I always say to you, the only reason why the Jedi speaks is when I have something to say. And that is predicated on it being something that I don't think will be said if I don't say it. Or a different perspective. Other than just the predictable noise that you could predict. I'm over that. So I want to get into this. But we have to go back. Because there is still an ongoing, desperate effort by this white devil to erase from the memory and the history and the existence a man called Michael Joseph Jackson. The most famous human being ever recorded in human history, and the greatest entertainer the world has ever witnessed. Period. And we have to always make sure we say it that way, everybody, for two reasons. First of all, it's the truth. Second of all, it pisses white people off. Because they purposely use that one of bullshit. That's not just a speech pattern or something random that just happens to come out. They do that on purpose. That one of. Don't fall for that shit. There is not another human being that has landed on this place called Earth that has been more famous than Michael Jackson. And not a greater entertainer. No one has outsold him. No one has outtoured him. No one has outbroken his records. Nothing. It will never happen. And why he's relevant now to bring up and to start with, indeed, is because they are trying to now take this big event on black people And while you're in a state of euphoria and excitement and vulnerability, quick, let's put in that this Super Bowl performance was bigger than Michael Jackson. Quick, put that in there. And then you'll go away saying, they said it was even bigger than Michael Jackson. No, the Jedi has spoken, and I'm going to bring you a damn receipt. Now, shout out to Godfrey, who I love. He put this, well, he sourced it. But this is exactly what I needed. Because I know the truth. Because I have lived long enough. And I was there the day that Michael Joseph Jackson performed at the Super Bowl. But here's some receipts. Before 1993, go on.
Super Bowl halftime shows were forgettable, filled with...
Before 1993, Super Bowl halftime shows were forgettable. They were filled with what? Marching bands and what? Go on.
Marching bands and skaters. But after Fox's In Living Color comedy special stole millions of viewers in 1992, the NFL needed a game changer.
So wait, what they've just told you there is that after Fox's In Living Color stole the ratings during the halftime, and I was there for that. That was a big deal because there was no halftime show. It was nothing. So the brilliance of Keenan Ivory Wayans, another black man, said, we'll do a special edition of In Living Color for the halftime show. They're on a totally different network. So this is how genius it was, everybody. You literally had to turn to another channel. You literally had to turn to another channel, turn away from the Super Bowl during halftime to go and watch In Living Color over on Fox, and then go back and watch the rest of the second half of the damn game. And people did it. And they crushed the ratings on Fox, not on the network that the NFL was on. So, of course, the White Devils thought, well, we can't let them have the ratings. Quick, who can we get? Ugh. So they reached out to who? Let's go back and hear them say it. Well, we'll just go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. White people always want to go back. You feel me? Go back. But the further back you go, the blacker it gets. Go back and get black. So let's not go back. Hear this now.
Super Bowl halftime shows were forgettable, filled with marching bands and skaters. But after Fox's In Living Color comedy special stole...
By the way, no shade to marching bands. I was a part of the #1 marching band in the world. Thank you very much. First International Music Olympics held in Anaheim, California, etc., etc., etc. We marched home with the top award. Thank you very much. 156 bands from all over the world. My high school marched away with the glory. So no shade to marching bands. There'll just be no shade to marching bands in my presence. Let's go.
And skaters. But after Fox's In Living Color comedy special stole millions of viewers in 1992, the NFL needed a game changer. They turned to the biggest star in the world, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's Super Bowl halftime show made history. He stood still for nearly 2 minutes, then performed Jam, Billie Jean, and Black or White, ending with Heal the World. 133.4 million in the U.S. and
133.4 million in the U.S. and what? And 1.3 billion worldwide.
1.3 billion worldwide watched.
So, I'm sorry, who's the biggest now? Not understanding.
Making it the most watched ever. Without Michael Jackson, the Super Bowl halftime show wouldn't be the spectacle it is today. He didn't just elevate it, he saved it. The NFL was on the verge of losing its audience, and MJ brought them back. His performance redefined what halftime could be, turning it into the biggest musical stage in the world. The Super Bowl didn't make Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson made the Super Bowl halftime show. Even today, no Super Bowl halftime show has matched the sheer global impact of Michael Jackson's 1993 performance.
Now, the other thing I want to point out there is that, because I always have a tidbit that I can give you from my personal knowledge. When they approached Michael to do the Super Bowl, he had no idea what it was at all. And then they wanted him to do a halftime show? What? So he had no idea what that was. And nowadays, they don't pay the artists to come and do the Super Bowl. They'll give you a production budget. That's why when we saw J-Lo and Shakira, J-Lo came out, it was everything that all the dancers and her, everything you saw was House of Versace. Like all that shit was from Versace. I pointed that out in a previous video. So they get a production budget. But Michael was on tour. He was on the Dangerous tour at this particular time. And we hadn't seen Michael in years, because there was no internet. You didn't just turn on, oh my God, there's Michael Jackson. It just didn't happen, everybody. So this was a major thing. Oh my God, Michael Jackson is performing at the Super Bowl. People that didn't even watch the Super Bowl watched it. I'm one of them. That's why I know. And so I know they paid Michael Jackson. There's no way on earth they didn't pay Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson doesn't do free concerts unless it's just for children and things like that. Then he's happy to do it. But he's not going to be up here in front of this many billions of people and for free. And he's on tour. Nah. That's not going to happen. So he didn't even know what it was. And today, in this recent Super Bowl, we understand that a 30-second ad was $8 million. Michael stood on the stage when he popped out of the stage for nearly 2 minutes. So that was what? 30, 60, 90, 3 times 8 is 24, 4 times 8 is 32. Nearly $32 million he was costing them by just standing there. Just standing there. And why I believe Michael stood there is because the lead up to this appearance of him was there was all this stuff in the press that there couldn't be any close-ups on his face, and they were talking shit about his plastic surgery, and just so you couldn't film him up close and and this and the third, and none of that was true. The cameras were all over Michael. In fact, in the 2 minutes that he's standing there, the camera literally is on stage with him, and the camera guy walks around him at close range to circle around him so you can get a good look at him. And there's many other close-ups during the show. But In Living Color is the reason why they decided they needed to do something to get ratings during the halftime. That's black people. And then Michael Jackson is the one that made it a thing to watch. Because after they had Michael, and it was such a good thing for them, they thought, well, we keep this trend going. So that's why now you even have a Kendrick Lamar. And I say all that to say that how dare these ungrateful ass, untalented, pathetic, inferior ass white people now sit back and proclaim their disdain or dislike for it, and they want to be entertained when you wouldn't have a show at all if it wasn't for black people. Do you understand? Now, let us get back to Kendrick. Another thing to footnote on Michael Jackson is that they made a big deal that he lip sync. And because when he does Jam, Billie Jean, and Black or White, it's all lip sync. And then right before he goes into Heal the World, somebody hands him a hand mic and he says, "Today we stand together," and gives a little speech. And he says, "No one should suffer, especially not our children." And he goes into Heal the World, which he's lip syncing. All right. But we must remember that at this particular time in 1993, Michael Jackson is practically God on earth. Like, he is the definition of fame and celebrity. But he's also a perfectionist, and it's important for him to always give his audience the best that he can give. Michael couldn't have done a sound check And I think that was held at the Coliseum out in Los Angeles, that particular performance. And so he couldn't have given he couldn't have had a sound check, because you wouldn't have been able to keep that secret, you know, and the pictures that would have been leaked and all those sorts of things. It just wouldn't have been possible. Not only that, but you only have, I think, 5 minutes to set up the stage. Like, they literally have it in sections. Whoever's performing anything at any Super Bowl, it's 5 or 8 minutes. It might be 10, y'all, but it's a very short time to put the stage out on the field very quickly with all the stuff that's got to be for whoever's performing. And they only have 10 or 12 minutes to perform, and then it's over. And then it's the second half. But he couldn't have done a sound check. And, you know, it just, in that amount of time and the time it takes to put in the sound system that he will have wanted to have, it just wouldn't have been possible. So it wasn't a big deal, because everybody on the planet Earth knows that Michael Jackson can sing. It's kind of like when Beyonce lip synced at the second inaugural, I think, either first or second inaugural of Barack Obama, and everybody's like, she lip sync. Who cares? I even did a video saying, is there anybody that doesn't think she could sing? Now, I'll still allow you your right to, or respect your right that you are mad that she didn't sing, but she could sing. So that she didn't, it didn't matter. It's not like a Milli Vanilli situation where they couldn't sing. You understand? Or a Britney Spears or something. No shade to Britney. Anyway, so I wanted to clear the air on that. Kendrick Lamar had a very big audience domestically in the United States. But let us be very clear that his numbers do not come anywhere near close to Michael Joseph Jackson, the greatest entertainer the world has ever witnessed and the most famous human being ever recorded in human history. Now, as a performer myself, who's been on more stages than I can remember and gotten out of more limousines than I can count, I've told you that many times over the years. I have a big, big background in entertainment. I've done movies, I've done music videos, I've done television, and all that stuff. And I understand a performance because I'm good at it. And what I can tell you is that at first look, because I had to go and watch this a few times, at first look, it was like, no. But it was going to be subdued, because if you go back and look at the video that I did when Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and Mary J. Blige and all of them did their show, I was very tough on that show, because it just didn't have it. It did not have it. It did not have it. It did not. Anyways, I love my review of that. If you've not seen that, go and see that. I'll try to put that in the description under this video for anyone who would love to watch that and just see my take on it, because it just did not have it. And for all the reasons that I lay out in that piece. This one was almost going to be in that category, but I had to consider, before I even understood the performance, just at the outset, I had to say to myself, no, this is a rapper. And this is someone who has a Pulitzer Prize, by the way. So for all of his 5 Grammys that he's picked up, Kendrick Lamar has a Pulitzer Prize, everybody. That's a very prestigious award, comes with a check, and is not given to just anybody. And he's the only hip-hop artist who has that distinction. So let's be very clear about what's going on. Let's be very clear. But he's not a dancer. He's not a singer. He's not a showman, as most rappers and hip hoppers are not. They're not. They're just not that. So when they do a show of any kind, you have to kind of build a show around them. But excuse me, he's from Compton, and what I know about Kendrick Lamar, even though I'm not a big fan of him or any other hip hop artist, what I do know about him though is he has been very consistent about where he comes from. I've seen the sort of projects that he's chosen. I've seen the performances, some of the performances that he's given. I gave high marks when he did the Freedom, Freedom, Come On. When he did him and Beyonce did the thing years ago when she was doing the Freedom song and they were in the water at the end, and it was just wow, that was powerful. And so I wasn't expecting that there was going to be pyro and smoke and lights and oh my God, and there he is doing this, you know. I was more interested, well, what is he going to do? Or what did he do? Because by the time I got to it, it was over. And I was just like, okay, what did he do? And he did a few things. If I have a harsh critique, it's not even harsh. I don't even know how to classify it. I don't want to classify it as harsh or negative. I'll just say it. I'll just say that some things were just for people who would know him. Fans, you had to follow his career and know his music line by line and all that. You have to know him like I know Janet Jackson, you know, to have appreciated some of this. Some of it was overt and it was more obvious. And you went, oh, that's what he's saying right there, you know. But I also think he left a lot of it open for interpretation. What I really appreciated about the most is that he thought about his performance. He wasn't holding his crotch. He wasn't sagging his pants. I didn't have to look at his fucking dirty underwear all goddamn day. He came very unglamorous. He looked like he probably was just at, like, you know, In-N-Out Burger or something, or just picked up something at McDonald's and just, oh, I'm doing a show. Oh, okay, I guess I'll go do it. You know, or hanging out with the fellas, whatever. There was no glamour. I hated the jeans. It was a bootcut jean. He's 5'5". It's a bootcut jean over tennis shoes. Not understanding. But that made it even more endearing because he just looked like regular dude. Like, I'm not trying to impress. It's not about me. It's about what I came to say. And that made it magic. That made it magic. I heard somebody say something about the Gloria jacket that he's wearing. I don't know what that means. There's speculation about the letter, the small A that he's wearing around his neck. I don't know if that's a musical reference. In fact, I will confess to you that before this performance, I hadn't read the lyrics. And me and my nephew were talking about it the other day. And when he said A minor, I'm a musician. I play violin. I play French horn. I play piano. So A minor is a musical reference for me. So it wasn't until I read the lyric that I realized, oh, that's so not what he's talking about. You know, especially when he looks right at the camera and goes, say Drake, you like him young.
I hear you like I'm young. You better never go to sell black one. To any that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you have your little sister from him.
And his body language, the way he moved around the stage was very, like, I feel like his movement was, you know, like when gang members are about to roll on somebody, they kind of sometimes they can terrorize you a little bit, you know, like strike fear in you. And I feel like his movement was like that, you know, like a stalking, defiant almost. He was using that with defiance, like I'm saying it what, you know, and with a grin even. Yeah. Then the dancers, when he did, let me get some pictures going. Then the dancers, I appreciated there was nobody out there twerking No bitch and some shit I gotta look at. You feel me? Like, this was not the place for that. And he could have gone that route, but like I say, he was thoughtful about it. Very thoughtful. Even this GNX car that he comes out of was paying homage to his roots, where he comes from, his geographic, origins. And when I first saw the performance and I saw the dancers coming out, then of course I'm the investigator. I got to see, wait, all them people in that damn car now. So it's up on the car is hollow inside, and it's just a shell. And so it's sitting on where dancers are coming up out of the under part of the stadium, under the field. They're coming out from under into the car and then out the door. Like, all these people on your screen came out of that one ass car. I'm just telling you how they did it. And the first thing that struck me was, with all of the we're not supposed to kneel and don't sit down and you can't take a knee and white people getting ass hurt because they ruin everything on the earth, including the earth itself. I have to get that in. But this was like, no, bitch, we are the fucking American flag. We are the flag. We built this bitch. It was even us that designed the damn flag. Paul Mooney used to make a joke about Betsy Ross not really sewing the flag. I believe that. I don't see no white bitch sitting up stitching and sewing. I just don't see that. Because, mind you, we've been on the earth for at least some 75,000 years before they showed up. I think we knew how to sew. I think we already mastered that. Seeing as how when they encountered us, they didn't know how to even wash their ass, and still don't to this day. That's something else, Jedi. Stay on topic. Anyway, it was like, we are the flag, and we're the ones you ignore. Do you understand? But then he had the red and the blue. Now, that worked in two ways, because there was a lot of double entendre going on here. So you've got the red, white, and blue. Okay, that's easy, American flag. But he's challenging you to go deeper. He's depending on you to go deeper, quite frankly, because if you can't get there, then the whole thing meant nothing. And so he's challenging, inviting, and hoping that you go deeper. I don't think there is one interpretation of this performance. I think there's many moving parts to it. I will love if he does an interview and sits down and says, this is what I was saying, but maybe not, because it's like Van Gogh, Renoir, Picasso, a painting it's the beholder. What do you get from this? You read into it. A lot of artists just put it and leave it. Just whatever you see in that, that's what it is to you, And so I think it's multi-layered in that regard. So the red and the blue, obviously that's Crips and Bloods, but it also is red, white, and blue for the shit stain on the earth called America. And then the white ones, I don't really know. And just even that he places himself in the center, and at one point they do a move where they're not standing, they're laid over, so the flag is more pronounced, and things like that. But let's go on. And then there was Sam Jackson. And I really didn't know how to take this. I mean, this was one of those things where you had to go back and watch it again and again and again. And as I said before, it's multi-layered. I don't think there is one interpretation of this performance, But Sam Jackson was there. At first I was offended when I first saw him. Just a black man dressed up like that immediately has I don't like that. It just immediately strikes something in me that's just anger and fury. But I got it, and it was prophetic, really, because everything that Sam Jackson was saying in his little soliloquies, that's exactly what white ass America was thinking. But it also said this to me. Here we are again. The only reason why Sam Jackson is in that costume and needed to be a part of this is because fucking white people exist. And we need to just be over their entire existence as African people. Just do what we're going to do, and they can like it or hate it. You understand? Just forget them, because they get some of their jollies off of when we yield for them. That's why I speak the way that I do. Because I'm not yielding for white people in any fucking way at all in my life. I don't need to do that. I just don't need to. I'm a sovereign human being, divine in my creation, and serving only the one that created me, and fearing only the one that created me, and respecting only the one that created me. I don't need to yield for these people or make a pathway for their white ass. I don't need to do that. So it's a shame, really, that he had to be there. Because if it's just our art, then we get it, or we talk about it, we figure it out. We don't need to educate them. You understand? So, but again, another double entendre, because he's saying that it's for them, but then at the same time, it's a prophetic statement to us. That everything that he said was what they were thinking. Even down to when Kendrick is saying, turn the TV off, turn the TV off. There was a Italian Jewish guy, whatever the fuck that is, that was on the Godfrey show when they showed what I just showed you. And he was talking about his parents and, his family that he had watched the Super Bowl with. And literally everything that Sam Jackson was saying, his parents and the people in his house were saying that exact same thing. Even down to the point where his father got up and walked away, really, literally at the time that Kendrick was saying, turn the TV off. So, and then I heard some other accounts, and I saw some video of white people being filmed in their living room reacting. And it's just like, all of our stuff is not for them. And if I have my way, none of our shit is for them. None at all. We need to coalesce around ourselves and entertain us for us. And if they see it, then they just see it, whatever. But it ain't for you. Because every other culture does that. Every other culture does that. Every other culture does that. Just be yourself. Do us. Forget these people. But there was Sam Jackson. And but it also suggests a forethought of that you're consciously thinking about these fucking white people. That you gotta be out there to say, this is too ghetto. You doing, it's too ghetto. I can't remember the quote now. That's just like, listen, my people. You got one life to live. You're not coming back to this world again. You're not. You are not. And you need to live your damn life the way you know you need to live your damn life. And stop wasting your fucking life energy. Hear this. Your life energy thinking about fucking white people. Don't do it. It's a waste of your life. A waste of your life. But just that they had to, but this testifies to that there was a conscious thought. That's why he has Sam Jackson making these little soliloquies and so forth, and little vignettes about, give them the hits, just do the hits, play it safe, or whatever he was saying. And, yeah, that I didn't like that. I understand it, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't. Damn it. And it's also interesting to note, too, that Lil Wayne, I saw he's ass hurt with his mummy-looking ass. There he was, somewhere, proclaiming that he wanted to always have his mama see him performing at a Super Bowl. Well, you look like a skeleton and a mummy all at the same time, Lil Wayne. And you're just not family friendly in my view. You know, maybe you could do makeup or something to get rid of those goddamn tattoos on your face and stop looking so goddamn scary. You're scaring the kids and the dog. And just know, you know, this is about numbers. This is about numbers. And the fact of the matter is, Kendrick Lamar has a Pulitzer Prize. You don't. He just won 5 Grammys. You haven't. And so he is the hot commodity. This is about ratings. So they're going with the hot number. It's Kendrick Lamar. And dare I say, had it been Lil Wayne out there, it would have been some typical bullshit. Him out there with no shirt on, look like a fucking bird, pants down his ass, and holding his crotch and mumbling and a bunch of shit. That would have been a scathing review for me. A scathing review for me. So thank God, you know, even though it was being held in his hometown, well, take a purge. Maybe get your act together and you'll do it the next time it comes around to New Orleans. I'm over it. Fuck Lil Wayne. I said it. You could call him and tell him I said it. He could see me. Shit. Then there was Serena Williams, who I have mixed feelings about. Because my understanding is she's married to a white devil, a Zionist no less. But I've been hearing that, you know, I know she dated Drake, but I didn't know the time frame because this is not my world. But my understanding is 2 years ago. But I feel like I've known her to be married to this white dude longer than that. Anyways, but there she was, crip walking. I just thought at first, why is she there? Why is she there? But it's the Drake connection, because she dated him, and so it was very vengeful to have her out here crip walking on the song that's disrespecting Drake. I wonder, did she rush to this? Is there bad blood between her and Drake? Did Kendrick have to pull teeth to get her? You know. But then there's, again, another double entendre, because it's not just about the Drake thing. She was embroiled in a scandal sometime back at Wimbledon, where she had won Wimbledon, of course, and she was crip walking. And of course, white people had a fucking problem with it, and she had to apologize, and she had to go and learn, and she had to go on an apology tour and all of it. Again, everybody, I got to keep weaving this in here. Be over white people, what they think, feel, or do, or say, or any fucking thing. Just erase them from your existence. You understand? Your life will be a lot more peaceful. It'll be a lot more peaceful. A lot more peaceful. Don't fucking consider these people at all. They are a waste of life. You understand? So she got in some dust up because they didn't think it was appropriate. And come on, she just fucking won Wimbledon. It's just that you mad she won, and you want her to not really have the glory of her win. You feel me? It's right up there with how you hear this with any fucking white people. Like if it's in Gaza, you hear the big nose white people saying, well, they want to destroy the Jews. But you've been destroying them. They just want to. You're actually doing the shit. You feel me? So this is in that same sick psychiatry of theirs. You win and you can't celebrate because they mad you didn't win, that you won. The football players can't even celebrate in the end zone and shit. I mean, come on. Fuck these people, man. They are the fucking scourge of humanity. I swear that by Allah Azza wa Jal. Anyway. Again, you can't get through shit without their ass because they are the scourge. This is only relevant because they exist. Otherwise, Serena would have just done her little crip walk after she won, and nobody would have known, nobody would have cared, it would have been over. But because their lizard asses exist, you have to fucking go through this shit. Damn. They are exhausting. Exhausting. So what this read for me was, get your crip walk on, my sister. Let me give you a forum where you can crip walk until your heart is content. And she's wearing her tennis something. Like, she didn't come out there like in hip hop clothes. She's in a tennis, one of them tennis outfits they wear. You understand? Yes. A moment of vengeance, revenge, and joy for Serena. So again, that double thing. Yes, it's a diss to Drake. She's out there literally crip walking on your soul. You feel me? While you probably crying tears sitting in front of your TV watching it at the house. But so she's crip walking on your soul, but she's also crip walking her revenge and her vengeance. Like, yes, bitch, I will stand out here now and I will crip walk until my heart is content and y'all white ass can shut the fuck up. I love it. I love it. And I always maintain forever that Drake is a fraud. I never liked him at all. Ever. Do you understand? And it makes me sick that I see my people, y'all run to somebody and just anoint them. And this was kind of like, I think the women did it because y'all just, ooh, Drake, he light-skinned. He's not even fucking light-skinned. That's a fucking Zionist Jew right there. A Zionist. A fucking stinking Zionist right there. Masquerading as an African person. Masquerade. His father is a very dark-skinned man. This person they've held up to be his father. Melanin don't miss a beat. You might come out light, but you're going to darken up. You understand? And so I never took him as a black person. I never took him as a black person. I don't give a fuck what any black person is going to tell me. I've never seen. I know my own. I'm it. I am the article. So I should be able to tell an imposter when I see it. Otherwise, I'm not worthy to stand on this earth. You understand? So I can't with it. And I think then brothers, y'all get so easily seduced and moistened up by some dude. Tell the truth. You feel me? And you start worshiping motherfuckers like this. So it's a whole problem, dude. The whole thing is a problem. All of it is a problem. But there he is. And so, you know, Serena was out there crip walking on his soul. And taking revenge. Because who knows what happened in their relationship. And, you know, I don't know. By the way, didn't she date Eddie Murphy or something briefly or something? I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know who else she's dated. Whatever. I'm just over sisters wearing blonde hair that doesn't come out of their head. You feel me? I'm really sick and tired of it. And I hear that in Cote d'Ivoire, the government has said they're not allowing women to wear wigs anymore in Cote d'Ivoire. I saw a headline. I haven't followed up on it. But if that's true, I love it. You know. But I think that there can be room for some wigs, but it needs to be something that looks like that's what your hair color is. You know. And stop trying to imitate white bitches. You are better than them. They know it and they say it. They know it. So why are you stooping down from your place on high to imitate something that is beneath you? I will never understand this. I won't understand it. I don't need to. I don't need to. Me, I don't. And as I say, his choice of jeans, I feel like he should have met with me. We should have talked about wardrobe. Just had a wardrobe meeting. You feel me? Just like a little huddle piece or something. You feel me? Just like a little sidebar type thing. You feel me? But again, it made it more endearing. I don't. he must know something I don't know about fashion. I'll admit that. Because obviously he knew he was going to be in front of millions of people, you know. And that's the gene he chose. Okay. Appreciate also there was no white dancers at fucking all. Yeah, that's one of the things that pissed white people off. You know. Is this a black thing? You know they were saying that. Because as I always tell you, they're the first ones to bring up race in any environment. Don't ever let them try and switch the book on you or switch the card. You understand? They are the ones who always bring up race first, and this was no different. So when the whole thing, when they start coming out that car and they start seeing more and more of the show unfold, they was looking to see was they white asses represented, and they were not. And so that turned a lot of them off. Like, oh, this must be a black thing. You know, yeah, and we need to have everything be black that concerns us, and stop including them, and stop feeling like you got to cater to them or make them feel comfortable or educate them about what the fuck we're doing. Fuck all of that, all of it. You understand? By the way, it's interesting to note that Kendrick Lamar, it was Drake that put him on. I had to learn that in my research. It was Drake that put him on, put him in his video and all that stuff, and was bigging him up. And it was, you know, so I don't know what happened that Kendrick is doing all this. Is this a one issue diss? You know, maybe he's like, I'm cool with Drake, but now that what he's suggesting about him being a potential pedo, you know. And the fact that he performed this song on such a public scale, this They Not Like Us song, because the other ones with SZA and the first two songs that he did, I didn't know those songs. They just have no value for me. That's something I would have to read the lyrics to appreciate it. But this lawsuit, because he even says, he goes, you know, they like to sue. I would be willing to wager and proclaim that if what he's saying had no merit, they would have already shut it down. Because Drake is a Zionist, and so he's got nothing but Zionists around him, you know, and so they would have already struck out on something and been successful in a claim against him if there was no merit to what Kendrick is alleging. You understand? Like, again, the double meanings, because when I heard A minor, the whole time I've been hearing this song since it came out, I thought it was a music reference, but I didn't know the lyrics, you know? And it's exactly not that. But he looked directly at the camera and said, say, Drake, I hear you like I'm young. Like, right, like in front of millions of people, I'm calling you out. And still making this allegation against you. I love it. I love it. You know, so is it just a principal issue for Kendrick? Like, I'm just going to call you out? I don't know. And also, I still think that main hook of it's one thing what he's saying in the lyrics, but that They Not Like Us hook, I take that as white people. They not like us. They not like us. That's white people. I think he's saying that about white people. Because I've been saying that forever. Long before Kendrick was on the scene, I've been saying they're not like us. We are not like them. Stop thinking you're like these people, and stop letting them tell you we're all the same. They are not like us. They are not. They are not. If they're human, they are a different species of human. They are not like us, and they are not from us. They don't originate out of Africa and all that. This is all fiction. So that's what I thought. They not like us is. That's what I think. I still think that. I think that until I get some reason to not think that. Again, double entendres that he's got going on all the time. They Not Like Us. Wow. I couldn't really enjoy SZA. And really through no fault of her own. I'm just over robotic, auto-tune bullshit. I need to hear you belting out a song, especially a female. This computer sounding shit, I didn't love it. I didn't love it. I didn't love it. I did not love it. I hate her hair. Shaka Khan wants her hair back. She called me and texted me and she was pissed. And she told me she wants her hair back. Yeah, I'm just over it. This is just like typical black female in the 20s, whatever. Every sister's got that hair with a fucking center part, some dead looking hair with no amazing, interesting hairstyle to it. You know, I remember when sisters used to give you a hairstyle, like a hairstyle. A hairstyle. There's no hairstyle anymore from our women. Damn. I can't. This looks like a rug on her. I can't, dude. I can't really appreciate her beauty. And I know it's there. She does have a body. But even that was dressed typical, you know, I couldn't get to it, everybody. I'm so sorry. I tried. Now, damn it, I tried. And then she even started her performance from, you know, she's laying on the floor. I'm just sick and tired of this overly sexual overtones in these female performers, you know? Like, I'm from the era of Whitney Houston, Toni Braxton, Regina Belle, you know, Karen White, Shanice Wilson, you know, like big female vocalists that just stand there and just belt out a song and blow your hair off your head. But look demure and feminine and beautiful and not slutty and sexy and shit. Like this, I can't get to this. I cannot get there. I tried. I can't. My passport does not work for that flight. I'm so sorry. But there they were, her and Kendrick on stage together doing this song that they did that I have no relationship to and didn't understand. I even think that his set was a double entendre because it was a PlayStation controller. I had to learn that because I don't play video games. Again, some things are just a waste of time to me in life. I'm an intellectual, so I'm not a sports fan. I don't play video games. I'm not into any of that stuff. That stuff takes you away from being able to hear your soul, to hear the inspiration from your Lord, your Maker. You understand? To get the whisper. You can't do that if you're sitting watching people run up and down a basketball court or a field, or you're playing a fucking video game. I'm just not into that stuff. I've never been into that. I have other ways that I entertain myself and relax and stuff like that, and that's just not on the list. It's not. But it was that. But I think it was also a street, like it's got the street lights in Compton. So I'm thinking this is probably just any block, you know, in the hood, basically, you know, where you dance in the street, but you also march in the street. There was a few times in the choreography where they were marching, you know, and it was purposeful because I was judging the ranks and the files and the diagonals, which is something you got to watch for when you're marching in formation. And they stuck it like glue, dude. And so I think part of it was that. It was revolutionary. The outfits that the dancers are wearing, I think, have a double meaning because they're meant to be sort of nondescript. But at the same time, you could infer it also looks like a prison yard to some degree. you know, a lot degree, quite frankly. Yeah, it had that effect. It looked like a prison yard, but also it looked like, because of the street lamps that are lining it, it's obviously a street also. But prison yards have those lights too. So again, the double thing there. Like I said, I don't think there's one interpretation of this performance. I think it's very nuanced. He really thought about it. And there's a lot of work here. People say, oh, it was such a simple performance. And it was simple, but it wasn't. You know, as someone who taught dance for many years, and as I've said to you over the years, choreographers, we don't just do dance moves. We do the entire show. All of it. And if something's going to be seen on television or something like this, then we're working with the director of photography to tell you what angles we need based on what the artist wants, etc., etc. Or if it's just a piece you're presenting as a choreographer, it's still the same thing. You're telling them to get this shot on this. You literally work with them so they know what angles they need to hit, what shots we need at this part in the music and this part in the dance, you know. So they worked hard. And the dancers were really clicking on all cylinders, dude. They were precise. They were uniform. Their lines were amazing. They really did their damn thing, you know. And then apparently he has an album or a video where he gets shot on a street lamp. And at different parts through this, you see that there is at least a couple of people I saw laying up on the street lamp.
I'm on them. I'm gonna do my stuff. Why you so like a ancient tire trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor.
So maybe there's an homage to that. There was a scene where he's with these 16 people that are at this post, like sitting under one of the street lamps. And apparently he has a song where he's talking about he lost 16 of his buddies. And so this is supposed to pay homage to them. And it really does stand out. Even without that knowledge, when I saw it, they didn't look like the rest of the dancers. They looked like they was just hanging out, having a good time. And they were very distinctly different looking than the rest of the dancers. They didn't really have any head coverings on. And you could see their faces and all that stuff, and it just like it didn't go past me. Like I was like, okay, that's something. It certainly stood out before I even had the knowledge of what it could be. But it was very bold of him to do that song on such a public scale and make it so specific to Drake. Especially as I say, you know, I learned that Drake really did give him his start, sort of blew him up anyway. You know, so there was a relationship there, and I would just kind of like to know what really made it go south and sour. I don't know. And this fucking fur bullshit that Drake is wearing here, very feminine. That looks like a woman's coat. I'm fully over it. And here you can see more pronounced one of the buttons that would be on the PlayStation, because there was a X and an O and a what the fuck, a diamond, or like a pyramid. I don't know. Again, I don't play video games. I don't need to know that. And there, yes, a square and a circle. A square, a circle, an X, and then a V or a triangle. Yeah, that's what it was. And I saw somebody trying to say that the crowd was silent. What did I see that? I don't know who said that. Like, are you serious? This crowd was with him, dude. The crowd was with him the entire time. Like, stop with it. Oh, I know who it was. There's this little fucker named Kai something, who is a woman. That if that's not a feminine dude, I don't know. I never seen one in my life. Then you feel me? His name is Kai something. He wears those fake ass rope looking locks that are clearly fake that I hate till I'm dead. He wears those. No hair on his face. If you look at him closely, he actually looks like Puff Daddy. He looks like P Diddy. He does. They got that same big Tyrannosaurus Rex mouth with big teeth. And yeah, he looks like P Diddy. He's somewhere in his family type thing. And he's some big YouTuber, and he clearly has he sells his ass at every meaning of that. But he clearly sells his ass to, you know, to say, I'm sure somebody put him up to say that potentially, you know, like how you gonna just step out there and say that, you know, like people have ears and we could hear. He was even alleging that the NFL had CGI'd in crowd response. Give me a fucking break. Give me a break. When I've seen video from people who were at the Super Bowl filming, and they've posted their videos on Instagram and things like that, and clearly it's a riot going on the entire time he's out there performing. So this little bastard needs to sat his little gay ass down. Sat your ass down in the back on the left. And again, you know, I don't read anything into him staying in the middle. Like, where else was he going to stand in this shot? You know, I heard some people saying, oh, it shows the division of America. I guess I'll allow it, but that's not what I get. You know, from a production standpoint, it's like that's where I would stand the artist. You know, where else would he be? They're literally making the flag there. And where else would I put the artist? Where else? Where am I going to put him? Unless I'm going to show him and then it'll cut away to them and then come back to him. You know, nah. This was the perfect place. So I don't think there was any deep meaning in that. You know. And this car was a 1986 model, and apparently that is the year that he was born. Kendrick Lamar. And yeah, he kept it to his roots, man. He really thought about it, and he made a statement. And I also saw T-Pain reacting. In fact, that's worth you seeing, because I have such respect for T-Pain. My God, that brother. Listen, I knew about T-Pain for years, but he was just another rapper and I couldn't be bothered. And then he was on The Masked Singer. In fact, he was the first person to win The Masked Singer. We didn't know it was him. He has an amazing voice, like you can't even believe, dude. If you didn't see The Masked Singer with T-Pain, go and put in on YouTube, type in T-Pain The Masked Singer, and watch his performances. You will die where you sit. He's so good. But before knowing that that was him on The Masked Singer, when he came onto my radar as like, oh my God, you need to pay attention to him, was 2009 when Michael Jackson passed away, was murdered. And for the BET tribute that they had as a part of the BET Awards show that year, they did a big tribute to Michael Jackson. Jamie Foxx hosted the show, and he did blame it during this award show. And when he gets that T-Pain, and T-Pain was in the audience, and he comes running out of the audience, girl, you know you look good, just like a book. Couple more shots, you open up like a book, I ain't tripping. Shorty, I ain't tripping. You got to hear him sing that part, though, live. I got my entire life, dude. My entire existence was just upset and enhanced, and everything. I was like, whoa, this dude can really blow. Especially when he gets to the part where he goes, you know what I mean? Shorty got drunk, thought it all was a dream, so I made her say, ah, ah. She looked me dead in the eye, ah. You got to hear him, though. I can't give it any justice, y'all. I can't. I'm not T-Pain now. I've got 15 Grammys of my own. I don't want to talk about it. But T-Pain was a revelation to me. And I'm so mad you can't find that performance anywhere. Damn it. That's a crime. But I said that to say that T-Pain was reacting. And because he somebody that's seasoned in the business and he's in this genre of a Kendrick Lamar, I was interested to see what he thought about it. So I think I'd like to let you hear his take.
That was incredible. That may have been the most simple halftime show I've ever seen. Not that it was great, it was good. But for some reason, oh my God, that was impactful as shit. Like when you think about, when you compare like Rihanna fucking 100, 200 feet up in the fucking air, you see shit like that and it's just like, he didn't really do shit. He didn't do shit and he fucking didn't need to is the crazy part. It would seem like a glaze if you were like, man, I was one of the best. But when you really look at it, I think it's fucked up that I'm just now realizing how much you really don't have to do to have a good halftime performance. Especially when you got smashes. You got smash records. You got smash album cuts, which is fucking crazy by itself. A lot of people last night in New Orleans was asking me, would you ever perform at the Super Bowl? And I was like, no, I'll never be able to come up with a good enough show for a Super Bowl. And I see that and it's just like, maybe I can. Maybe. Who knows?
I love it. I love it. That his review was worth everything, I thought, because he's somebody that's in the industry. T-Pain is very successful, and then there was another one with Snoop Dogg. He would, go ahead, nephew. Go ahead, nephew. But I'm not. I'm really over Snoop Dogg right now. I'm over him for coning out. So it's a wrap. Listen, you guys. There's a lot of things that I could have gone. A lot of different directions I could have gone with this because it's a big piece to get your arm around. It was hard to figure out how I wanted to get my arms around this in order to present and, do any type of review or reaction to it. So, yeah, it's just too many moving parts. Yeah. As I say at the beginning, I will try to link the review I did of the Super Bowl halftime that Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and Mary J. Blige and them did, because that's it's a fantastic review, but it also is a great education to anybody who watches it. Just because of my knowledge of entertainment and performance and stuff like that, I'm really sharing a lot of that and applying that to my critique of that show. You definitely would want to see that. Absolutely. So I'm going to leave this one here, everybody. And we'll talk about it in the comments. If you've not subscribed, do hit the subscribe button and join our family, and definitely give the video a thumbs up, everybody. That's the only way you can get seen on YouTube, and y'all know this white devil is on my ass. So help your brother out. I love you all. I'll see you soon. This is the Jedi.